Good morning, myself Professor Saxena, a stress guru from India. In today's class, we will discuss the different happy hormones and the science of happiness. Part 1. Dopamine. The contents of today's class will be as follows. Introduction to different happy hormones. What is dopamine? The main functions of dopamine. Symptoms of dopamine deficiency. Different methods to improve dopamine levels. What to eat to improve dopamine levels. Different yoga poses to improve dopamine levels. Introduction to different happy hormones. Happy hormones are a group of chemicals that are released in the brain and body that contribute to feelings of pleasure, happiness, and contentment. They are responsible for regulating our mood and emotions, and help us feel happy and satisfied. There are several hormones that fall into this category, each with its own unique role in promoting happiness and well-being. 1. Dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is responsible for feelings of pleasure and reward. It is often associated with activities that give us a sense of accomplishment, such as achieving a goal or completing a task. Dopamine is also released during activities that we find enjoyable, such as eating our favorite foods or engaging in social activities. 2. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone because it is released during social bonding activities such as hugging, kissing, and sex. It helps to promote feelings of trust and bonding, and can also reduce stress and anxiety. 3. Serotonin. Serotonin is a hormone that is closely associated with mood regulation. It helps to reduce anxiety and depression, and promotes feelings of happiness and well-being. Serotonin levels can be boosted by exposure to natural light, exercise, and certain foods such as bananas and nuts. 4. Endorphins. Endorphins are a group of hormones that are released during exercise and other physical activities. They help to reduce pain and stress, and promote feelings of euphoria and well-being. In conclusion, happy hormones are essential for maintaining good mental health and well-being. They help to regulate our mood and emotions, and promote feelings of happiness and contentment. By engaging in activities that boost the production of these hormones, such as exercise, social bonding, and exposure to natural light, we can improve our overall mood and well-being. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a type of neurotransmitter, which is a chemical messenger in the brain that transmits signals between nerve cells, or neurons. Dopamine is involved in a variety of functions in the brain, including movement, motivation, pleasure, and reward. It is also important in regulating mood and emotions, attention, learning, and memory. Dopamine is produced by neurons in several areas of the brain, including the substantia nigra and the ventral tegmental area. These neurons release dopamine into the synapse, the small gap between neurons, where it binds to dopamine receptors on the surface of other neurons, triggering a response. Dopamine is also involved in the brain's reward system, which is responsible for the experience of pleasure and reinforcement of certain behaviors. Drugs such as cocaine and amphetamines, as well as certain natural rewards such as food, sex, and social interaction, increase the release of dopamine in the brain, leading to feelings of pleasure and reward. Dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, but it is important to note that its role is more complex than simply causing pleasure. Dopamine is also involved in learning, attention, and decision-making, and its dysregulation has been linked to a range of mental health disorders, including addiction, depression, and schizophrenia. Main functions of dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in the brain that plays a vital role in various physiological and psychological functions. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in several important functions in the brain and body. Its main function is to act as a chemical messenger in the brain that helps to regulate movement, motivation, and pleasure. Here are 10 main functions of dopamine. 1. Reward and motivation. Dopamine is involved in the brain's reward system and is released when we experience pleasurable or rewarding stimuli, such as food, sex, or drugs. This dopamine release reinforces the behavior and motivates us to repeat it. Dopamine plays a key role in the brain's reward system by producing feelings of pleasure and reinforcing behavior that leads to reward. It is involved in motivation, goal-directed behavior, and the anticipation of rewards. 2. Movement and coordination. Dopamine is involved in controlling movement and coordination. Dopamine helps to control and coordinate movement in the body by sending signals to the motor system. A lack of dopamine can cause movement disorders such as Parkinson's disease. 3. Attention and focus. Dopamine helps regulate attention and focus, and a deficit can lead to symptoms of ADHD. 4. Mood regulation. Dopamine plays a role in regulating mood, and low levels of dopamine have been linked to depression. Dopamine is involved in regulating mood and emotions. Low levels of dopamine have been linked to depression, while high levels of dopamine are associated with euphoria and mania. 5. Learning and memory. Dopamine is involved in the brain's reward-based learning system, and it helps us remember experiences that were pleasurable or rewarding. Dopamine plays a role in attention and learning by enhancing the processing of information in the brain. 6. Addiction. Dopamine is involved in the development of addiction. Drugs such as cocaine and methamphetamine increase dopamine levels, which can lead to addiction. 7. Stress response. Dopamine plays a role in the brain's stress response system and can help regulate the body's response to stress. 8. Sleep regulation. Dopamine is involved in regulating sleep and wakefulness, and a lack of dopamine can lead to sleep disorders such as insomnia. 9. Sexual behavior. Dopamine is involved in the brain's sexual response system and plays a role in sexual desire and arousal. 10. Hormone regulation. Dopamine is involved in regulating the release of various hormones in the body, including prolactin, which is involved in milk production and breastfeeding. Symptoms of dopamine deficiency. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a vital role in the brain's reward and pleasure pathways, as well as in regulating mood, motivation, and movement. When there is a deficiency in dopamine, it can lead to various physical and psychological symptoms, including 1. Reduced motivation and drive. 2. Decreased pleasure and enjoyment in everyday activities. 3. Fatigue and lack of energy. 4. Difficulty concentrating and paying attention. 5. Mood swings and emotional instability. 6. Depression and anxiety. 7. Increased feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. 8. Changes in appetite and weight. 9. Insomnia or disturbed sleep patterns. 10. Reduced sex drive or sexual dysfunction. 11. Restless leg syndrome. 12. Tremors or stiffness in the limbs. 13. Reduced ability to experience pleasure from sex or other physical touch. 14. Impaired memory and cognitive function. It's essential to note that many of these symptoms can also be indicative of other medical or psychiatric conditions, so it's crucial to consult with a healthcare provider for a proper diagnosis and treatment. Different methods to improve dopamine levels. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a vital role in regulating mood, motivation, and pleasure. Here are 10 methods to improve dopamine levels. 1. Exercise. Regular exercise is known to increase dopamine levels. It doesn't have to be intense or long. Even a short walk can help. 2. Eat foods that boost dopamine. Foods such as bananas, avocados, nuts, and seeds are known to boost dopamine levels. 3. Get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can decrease dopamine levels. Aim to get 7-8 hours of sleep per night. 4. Practice mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation has been shown to increase dopamine levels. 5. Listen to music. Listening to music can boost dopamine levels, especially if it is music that you enjoy. 6. Set goals and accomplish them. Setting and achieving goals can boost dopamine levels by giving you a sense of accomplishment and motivation. 7. Spend time in nature. Spending time in nature has been shown to increase dopamine levels. 8. Reduce stress. Chronic stress can decrease dopamine levels. Engage in activities that reduce stress, such as yoga or meditation. 9. Take supplements. Supplements such as tyrosine and omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to increase dopamine levels. 10. Socialize. Socializing with friends and family can increase dopamine levels by providing a sense of connection and belonging. What to eat to improve dopamine level. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in regulating mood, motivation, and reward-seeking behavior. While there is no specific food that can increase dopamine levels directly, certain foods can support the production and function of dopamine in the brain. Here are 10 foods that may help improve dopamine. 1. Bananas. Bananas are high in tyrosine, an amino acid that is a precursor to dopamine. Eating bananas may help boost dopamine production in the brain. 2. Eggs. Eggs are also high in tyrosine, as well as choline, which is important for the synthesis and release of dopamine. 3. Fish. Fatty fish, such as salmon, tuna, and sardines, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for brain health and may support dopamine function. 4. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains flavonoids, which have been shown to increase dopamine levels and improve mood. 5. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are rich in tyrosine, as well as magnesium and zinc, which are important for the production and function of dopamine. 6. Avocado. Avocado is rich in vitamin, which is important for dopamine synthesis, as well as healthy fats, which may support brain health. 7. Green tea. Green tea contains an amino acid called L-theanine, which may help increase dopamine levels and improve mood. 8. Blueberries. Blueberries are high in antioxidants, which may help protect dopamine-producing neurons in the brain. 9. Spinach. Spinach is rich in folate, which is important for dopamine synthesis, as well as other nutrients that support brain health. 10. Turmeric. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which has been shown to increase dopamine levels and improve mood in animal studies. It's important to note that while these foods may support dopamine production and function, they should be part of a balanced diet and should not be relied on as a sole treatment for dopamine-related conditions. If you have concerns about dopamine levels or related health conditions, it's important to speak with a healthcare provider. Different yoga poses to improve dopamine level. There are several yoga poses that can help increase dopamine levels in the body. Here are 10 yoga poses you can try in the supervision of yoga instructor. 1. Downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This pose helps increase circulation to the brain, which can increase dopamine levels. 2. Warrior 2 pose, Virabhadrasana 2. This pose helps improve focus and concentration, which can also increase dopamine levels. 3. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. This balancing pose requires concentration, which can help improve dopamine levels. 4. Fish pose, Matsyasana. This pose can help open the chest and stimulate the heart, which can increase dopamine levels. 5. Camel pose, Ustrasana. This backbend can help open the heart and lungs, which can increase dopamine levels. 6. Chair pose, Utkatasana. This pose requires strength and balance, which can help increase dopamine levels. 7. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. This pose can help stimulate the heart and lungs, which can increase dopamine levels. 8. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. This pose can help stretch the entire body and improve circulation, which can increase dopamine levels. 9. Bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. This pose can help stimulate the thyroid gland, which can increase dopamine levels. 10. Child's pose, Balasana. This restorative pose can help reduce stress and anxiety, which can improve dopamine levels. Remember that yoga is just one part of a healthy lifestyle. Incorporating other healthy habits like regular exercise, a balanced diet, and good sleep can also help increase dopamine levels in the body. Now that's enough for today's class. Thank you so much.